Welcome, one and all, to part 2 of episode 2 of Nice Friendly Chatranger. We are back with Mr. Tom Constantine.
What's up?
I was gonna say, that's your cue to say hi.
What's up? What's up, guys?
All right, and he was in the server in the chat for part 1, but he's now here in the voice call with us. Northcaster Saga is joining us.
Hello, hello.
All right, so this is
top of the morning to you.
I had to, sorry.
All right, so this is part 2 of our Q&A, and this episode is going to be focused around more about Tom himself, his life, and his work. If you haven't already
I didn't want to do this part, FYI. I was much more comfortable talking about other stuff.
You agreed to it.
This is under duress, yeah.
No, we want to get personal.
And if anyone's watching this and hasn't yet seen part 1, where we talked about the technical and filming side of tokusatsu, please check that video out as well. All right, so our first question here comes from Cobalt Caster Goggle. I know you touched a little bit on this in the previous episode, but the question here is, how did you come to work for Toei as an actor and suit actor?
So, for Toei, I technically have only acted. I've not done suit acting for Toei. Hasbro, different story. But for Toei, because occasionally they'll want a white guy or a foreigner to do some kind of action or for some specific scenes or something, and I trained a lot with the action team or like the stunt people and kind of sort of make connections that way. And before Geeks came a calling, Takaiwa Seiji did a movie with Koichi Sakamoto called Good Morning Sleeping Lion.
Yep.
And the producer on that is the same one that was on Geeks. And she asked Koichi about me or like foreigners who can do action, and Koichi recommended me, and that's how I got involved on Geeks. It was a very funny, like, oh, would you like to work on Kamen Rider?
Let me think about that.
Let's think about that. Yeah, let me just think about that. Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah.
Inside, you were just exploding with happiness.
I think I can free up my schedule.
Well, the way that it was kind of pitched to me, it's like, oh, it's probably just for the first like couple of episodes, and I was like, yeah, sure, your bodyguard. Presumably everybody's watched Geeks. If not, it's a spoiler for episode 1. I get killed in the first episode, so I just assumed, oh, that's it then.
Every actor's dream.
Yeah, and before filming, there was a costume fitting, which had producers, directors, writers, all the costume people, all that kind of stuff. And I said, oh, yeah, we get killed in this. And they said, oh, well, it's kind of a thing that the world gets reset. So you will be, like, you'll come back alive kind of thing. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. In my head going, well, maybe I'll come back later, whatever, 1 episode, 2 episode. I don't care. I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to be included.
I just imagine, like, you're talking to someone on the phone who's offering you the role, and you're, like, very calm and professional, like, yes, I think I might be interested, but on the inside, you're like,
I screenshotted the messages and just sent them to more people than I should have.
As you should.
Yeah.
And for those
way more people than I should have.
And for those in our audience, yes, that was the Game Grumps reference.
Yep.
I got to do 1 per episode.
All right, very excellent. Our next question. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to continue, sorry. So that's what I thought, and then did the costume fitting, they took some photos, chatting, having a laugh, blah, blah, blah. And then at the end, they were like, how to translate into English. We look forward to working with you for, over the next year. Mm-hmm. And I went, oh, hi, so this. And I left, and I was like, hang on, they said year?
Oh, so you thought it was just a one-off at first?
I honestly just thought it was like one or 2 episodes, and then they just kept asking me, "Are you free more? Are you free more?" And then I think at one point I asked somebody else, like, "Am I here for the whole thing?" And they're like, "Well, we don't know yet, but we want you to do this. Like, we want you to do this episode." And then a month later, they were, this episode. And so, it just kind of went from there. So I spent a year essentially just waiting for the call. Oh, you're going to be in episode 24. That kind of thing.
All right.
I wonder if that would have meant then if you had said no, I can't do it. Would they have actually just gotten rid of the character?
Entirely possible. Or they might just recast me at the beginning. Maybe.
Quick, to the list of white gaijins.
There's a lot of them, and they're a lot better looking.
I beg to differ.
Thank you.
All right.
I don't know what to say to that.
Accept the compliment and move on.
This is why I do want to do part 2. I wanted to talk about other stuff.
All right. Our second question comes from the man here in the chat with us, Mr. Yellowcaster Ultragar. He would like to know what it was like being the suit actor for Void Knight.
Oh, that was my favorite costume. By far. So cool. Honestly, that was the role I wanted to do. Before we left. I was like, yep, that's what I want. It's the coolest. I want it.
Nice.
Onegaishimasu. Can't really say much else apart from that. I talked in the last episode about how the shoes didn't fit. So if you haven't listened to part 1, definitely do. It's a very interesting shoe conversation.
Yeah. Void Knight was Geiselg, right?
Yeah. Geyser, yeah.
Then yes, I fully agree. That suit was awesome.
No, it's a really awesome suit.
Were you in Cosmic Fury, or was that during the filming of Beats?
So we filmed all of Dino Fury, because they split up into 2 seasons, but we still film. Is it 40 episodes? 38.
It's filmed 6 months, 8 months.
Yeah, over 8 months. I think in total 9. Because it was during Corona, so we had to do 2 weeks quarantine.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a headache. Anyway, I've already forgotten. What was the question? Void Knight.
Being the suit actor.
Yeah, it was fun. It was the best. I loved it. I could have kept on doing it. I bought the Geisorg premium Geisorg Ken.
Geisolken.
Yeah, I got that. It's behind me right now.
I have the DX one.
It is a lot better looking than the prop.
Alrigrighty. Our next question comes from...
I mean that in a way because it's clean. The prop at that point, it'd already been used for a year on Researcher.
Yeah,
and then it comes over and it's got to be tough because it's used in action.
Yeah,
so,
imagine these props get beat up a lot.
Yeah, I mean, some of the Power Ranger costumes you can see in the original footage. They're quite beaten up compared to what they look like in the Sentai. But that's what happens when you make a suit that is only for a year, with the intention it's only made for a year, and then it just degrades increasingly quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you just do a bit of action and it's just tears or rubs off, and then it's got to be fixed and.
Yeah, I'm one of my very good friends who I've hung out with when I go to conventions. He calls himself the cosplay medic. So he goes around different conventions and fixes people's cosplays that tear and rip, just from walking around.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
he doesn't charge people. He just does it out of the charity of his heart. He's a real nice guy.
Yep.
Oh God, can he come and work on Avalon?
I can hook you up if you want to talk to him.
Yeah, he has paid for his own flights, but.
All right. Anything else about Void Knight, or are we moving on?
Void King, same deal.
Nice.
Although Void King was kind of a bit more evil.
Where's the shield? You don't have the shield.
Playing evil's fun, though.
Yeah. Oh, no, 100%. Evil's well fun.
No, he was great.
In fact, people keep saying like, "Oh, do you want to come back to Rider or Sentai as a Ranger or a Rider?" And I'm like, "No, I want to be a villain." Hell yeah! I want to fight those pesky Rangers.
Actually, you know what? Just I was thinking of it now because of just how they do it production-wise. Like, you know, you have to act with what they're like, with what the director is saying, like what the line is. Was there ever a moment where like you just heard someone say something, you were just like, what the fuck am I acting with?
When you say the director, do you mean the script?
Yeah, like in the script, like they're reading the script, and you have to like sort of like move with like what the script is saying.
Oh no, we learn the lines.
Oh, you guys learn the lines?
Yeah, we learn the lines. But the stunt team is almost entirely Japanese. I was the only from Japan. I was the only ever white person they brought over from Japan to go filming Power Rangers. There are like, because it's filmed in New Zealand, they do use Kiwi stunties for a lot of stuff, but the main team is generally only Japanese. So there are degrees of how much English people can speak, and a lot of them learn to do it just phonetically. It is just, I mean, some of them will just do Japanese because some of it's still like, if there's like long dialogue scenes or something, maybe they'll just do it in Japanese because there's no time and they're busy acting, or they've got a fight scene that they're rehearsing or whatever. But occasionally you'll have one of the ADs off camera reading the line off the script. Just so, usually if we've got an actor on set, really you want them to have the good timing, because a line in Japanese might have the same meaning in English, but it doesn't have as long, the amount of time spent saying the line might not be as long as in English.
Yeah. Sentence
so when it comes to ADR, it won't work. The good thing about having me on set, without tooting my own horn, is that if they were speaking Japanese or even English, me knowing both languages, I could tell them, oh, you need to put emphasis on this word or this line.
Nice.
Because the nuance, you might be missing some... I can't think of any specific examples, but like... You would put, in Japanese, you would put the subject at the beginning of the sentence. So if you were to say, hold out your hand, it'd be like, te o dasu, and te is hand. So that would come first. But if you were talking about hand, you would want them to gesture with the hand as they said hand, as opposed to when they would say it there. So that kind of... I'm pretty sure I annoyed people on set with that kind of stuff.
Oh, no, I understand what you mean. So that, like, in Japanese, they would thrust their hand out first because te is the first word of the sentence, but in English, hand would be the last word of the sentence, so you want them to put their hand out at the end of the sentence.
Yeah, it's a very rough example, but yeah, that's that kind of stuff.
No, it makes sense.
But that's a good attention to
interesting.
detail to have.
Yeah. The fact that that's even a factor. The fact that that's even a factor is impressive to hear.
I also just think it's hilarious to know that somewhere out there, there's a raw file of probably you shouting, "You hit the button to make you the greatest person in the galaxy."
Yeah. Stupid English guy in the suit going, and half the time you can barely hear what people are saying next to you. And the worst is when they're behind you talking, and you can't hear them, so you have to kind of guesstimate when their line's about to finish. But usually you could say, like, somebody in front of me, could you please just like give me a hand signal of when to turn? Because
all right. Our next question comes from artisan caster Midas the Fool, and he would like to know, what was it like working on the Kickback music video for Kenshi Yonezu, and how does working on a music video differ from a TV series or movie shoot?
So with a music video, generally, at least here, they film it within 48 hours. Like, they film it incredibly, like, as one block. They won't space it out over several weeks or something. They try to film as much as possible. Especially with him, who's very famous and very busy, they only have that tiny block to film it because he needs to go and record, he needs to go perform, etc. So they need to get everything done there. So I may have I started at 4 a.m. and then finished at 6, 7 p.m. But I think they went on until like 1 a.m.
Damn. So long.
And I couldn't walk for like 2 days afterwards because I was just running constantly for.
Oh wow.
Shit.
And they were like, "Oh, we got to refilm it." Oh, because some of the guys overtook you in the back. And they're all laughing. They're like, "Oh yeah, it's fine. We can do it." And I'm like, "Please, you guys, you only just got here. I've been here like 12 hours. Please, please don't overtake me."
Stop.
Please don't overtake me. Kick back.
Yeah. I mean, I got the offer for it. The director talked and just explained stuff because I was filming Geats at the time. And I didn't really think anything of it. I was just like, oh yeah, his music's cool, I guess. I think I looked him up on YouTube. And anytime I tell anything about my job to my partner, he's like, oh, suka. Like, doesn't really give a shit. Doesn't really care.
That's nice.
Yeah, and then I told him about that, and he's like, eh? And I think it was only until like just before I went and filmed it that I realized just how famous he was.
Yeah.
Or how popular he is with people.
Kickback is the Chainsaw Man theme, right?
Yes, it is.
That is a banging song.
It is a banging song.
It is pretty. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, it was a very, very, very tough shoot. It's hard, but I mean, it's something stupid like 100 million views on YouTube. Some ridiculous.
Only that many?
Some cult following.
I mean, but then I sort of became the kickback no gaijin, the kickback foreigner, and it was like that era of the fandom. We're like, oh, who is it? And then because Geats was airing at the same time, and then they intersected.
Oh wow!
And so everybody was like, oh my god, he's in Kamen Rider Geats. Oh, you know, John is in Kickback. And then I think the day after the video came out, I went on set, and they were like, Tom, you were in the Kickback video. I was like, oh, you guys have seen that? Like, I honestly didn't realize just how kind of huge it was. Well, no, but I mean, I thought it would be big, but I didn't expect the makeup lady to be like Tom. Yeah, I didn't. The makeup lady on Geats on set was like, "Oh my god, you were in the video." I'm like, oh, okay, yeah.
So what you're telling me is, so what you're saying is you went from Baka Gaijin to Kickbacker Gaijin.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
No,
I mean, there's a whole conversation you could have about perception of stuff, like, because occasionally I'll post stuff on Instagram. I'm going on a big tangent here. You don't realize who's looking at you and who's seen what you've posted online. And I've got 2 dogs who I almost exclusively just Instagram about. Really, I should be more professional. But now anytime I see people that I haven't seen for 6 months or a year, they're like, oh, how are the puppies doing? How's Ryuga? How's Sogo? Like, you kind of forget.
That's right.
So that was
I remember reading on your wiki that you apparently named one of your dogs after Sogo from Zio.
Yep. And then the second dog we got, Ryuga. He was Nigor for like 2 months, but we kept on saying we can't call him that because Nigor is number 2.
Yeah.
Rider number 2, and
we can't. He'll get a complex.
Yeah, and people will think we're being mean, but to us it's funny. So we eventually. But because he was jet black, and we were like, oh, he's a mirror image. He's like Ryuga, and Gio fought Ryuga in the show. So that's
clever.
So now we have Soga and Ryuga.
Cute.
It's all coming together.
See, and now I'm on a podcast talking about it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah!
So that's what I mean. Perception. Yeah, it's perception.
Any other comments about filming the Kickback music video, or ready to move on?
There's a shot where I jump through a window. That was done at 6 a.m. That was the first thing I did when I got on set. That was not the first thing I wanted to do at all.
That's why build up to that. I wake up first thing in the morning and go, I'm going to jump out a window today.
Don't talk to me before I've had my 6 a.m. window jump.
And it was raining, so the floor was wet. So there was it was a one-time only set up. So I could have fluffed it, slipped and fallen or something. And they said, if possible, we would like you to land and then keep going. But they were like, if you can't do it, it is fine because there's glass everywhere. Yes. And I think I just jumped, and then I think I stopped because I was like, no, I can't run. But the run up that I had, honestly, it was like 2 meters. So like I couldn't even get like a good momentum. And the first time they shouted action, I was like, and then walked back again, and they were like, "Are you okay?" I was like, I'm really sorry. I lost it for a minute. Okay, this time, I swear.
Sounds rough.
And even though it's what do they call it? Sugar glass.
Oh.
Yeah, sugar glass.
I would imagine they wouldn't have you jumping through actual glass.
It still hurt. It still hurt, and it still cut me.
Oh.
I still got it in me, and I was bleeding and stuff, and I had to put some bandage stuff.
Oh shit.
That's not a complaint. We were talking about in the last episode about the most dangerous stunt or whatever. I wouldn't say that I was dangerous, but I was injured.
Well, glad to see you survived.
Man, it's show business.
No. Uh-huh.
All right.
What's up next?
Our next question comes from Taro_Digi, who is asking, what advice would you have for someone who wants to get into acting?
Ask somebody else.
I honestly thought for a second you were going to say don't.
What have I told you about don't?
I'm not. Honestly, I appreciate the question. However, I'm not really a good person to ask about that. I'm not a super serious actor. I generally try to do comedy or silly roles. I did a shoot recently where I'm a pirate captain, so I just did Captain Marvelous.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I even did like the arm cross kind of thing. It's very difficult to try and do a pirate and not be Jack Sparrow.
I get it.
So yeah, I was trying to do Marvelous more than anything. But no, I'm not a good actor, so I wouldn't go to drama school. I did that when I was a teenager. I used to do it a lot, and then I got into what's that? Alcohol and partying for a long time. Yeah. And just screwed up my life for a few years.
What did they call it again? Oh yeah.
I'm 6 years sober now, so I'm all G.
That's congratulations.
Congratulations.
Hell
It's alright, it's quite easy actually once you get to a point.
That's good.
But I'm addicted to chocolate.
We all have our addictions.
I fucking love chocolate so much. What was the question? Yeah, don't look at me. Yeah, what's your favorite?
Don't be an actor.
Well, Cadbury's cream eggs. Yeah, don't be an actor. The hours are long. They treat you like crap. Pay's generally not that great either. But also, it's really fun.
All right.
Pros and cons.
The duality of being a performer.
Yep.
All right. So now we're getting into the back half, and these are what I like to consider the fun questions. So this one was asked by two different people. It's another composite question. This comes from Spellcaster Blaze and Johnny in our Discord. If you were to become a real-life, actual Desire Grand Prix Kamen Rider, what animal would your emblem be? What would your main buckle be? And what wish would you fight for?
I mean, I'll probably still be Garoon. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah?
But yeah,
I'm white, and a tiger's pretty cool, so white tiger. That's kind of a mishmash, I guess.
I wonder what John's desire would have been.
I was gonna say, because like they were riders, but I don't think we ever found out what wish they were playing for.
Probably a job with benefits.
A raise.
A job with a day off.
So what would your main buckle be?
Beat.
Beat? Yeah.
I want to say beat, but musically I can't sing, I can't play. So beat probably isn't the best. Maybe monster, because I do like a good nap.
I've always personally really liked command form. Command's just so cool.
Oh, that is a good one, and you can fly with it.
Yeah.
I think my favorite buckle ended up being fantasy, actually.
Oh, that's a good one. That could be a very trickery kind of one.
Mm-hmm.
When did Buffa have?
He had zombie.
Zombie.
And then Plosion Rage at the end.
Super
Jamato.
Zombie.
The Jamato one.
Yeah, Jamato.
Yeah, Jamato Zombie was the coolest buffa form ever.
And Fever.
I don't like the unpredictability of Fever. I don't like that.
It's a shiny.
I
love it.
I want to be able to plan out what it's going to be. I would like to use not the raised buckles, like the hammer
The
and
weapon
shield.
ones.
Yeah, I would like to use those as well.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe arrow. Arrow would be kind of cool.
Don't use arrow. Everyone who uses arrow dies.
I remember I couldn't get Arrow when it first got released, like as a toy, and I had to wait months just for it to come back in stock so I could buy it again.
That's another meme in the fandom. Everyone who uses the arrow buckle dies.
Yeah.
I mean, Garun died. How many times? 3, 4.
We're imagining a scenario where you don't die.
Okay. Not arrow. Well, I like sharpshooting.
Magnum.
I don't know.
Magnum's a good one.
The Garoon helmet would look good with Magnum buckle.
Yeah, it would. Yeah. And Desire. I don't know, money to live comfortably? You know, I don't want to be greedy, but man, times are in, boys.
What I always say.
I think financial stability is a pretty reasonable wish.
Yeah, like
There's a lot of people out there that don't have that.
Own a house, you know, be able to pay rent. That's some real basic shit. I would love that.
Yeah.
And then Tsukiyomi's just like, really? Really?
Yeah, nothing too big.
All right.
Yeah, I guess we did get
Turkey
that.
sandwich on rye.
The turkey's a little dry.
Yeah, we got that in the show where Buffa gets his memories back and just he wished for something stupid, didn't he?
All right. This next question is one that I came up with. So as far as I know, the character John in Geats does not have a last name. So I was wondering if you have a headcanon last name for John.
Honestly, I've never thought about that. I've never even thought of what a surname could be.
I got it. John Constantine.
That's where I was
I
leading.
feel like I've heard that before.
No, that's an actual character. That's an actual hero.
No, it is the John Johnson.
John Johnson's pretty good.
John A.
Johnston.
John Joey Jr. Shabadoo.
It's the worst name I've ever heard, Lane.
John
I must. There was no. They didn't pick the name John because my surname's Constantine. They never did that. I think the character was probably really the name at least was decided ahead of time anyway, before they even contacted me. But I did find it a little bit weird that when the summer movie came out, or the crossover movie, the dog was called Constantine.
Yeah.
Huh.
I went on set and there was a dog house that had Constantine on it, and I was like, "Is this a joke? Is it?
Did I miss a memo?
Is this what my role is in this movie? Like, wasn't in the script.
Did I do something bad? Am I in the doghouse?
Yeah, that dog was lovely. I played with that dog so much on the set.
Did you
So happy.
like when people found that out? Was that funny for them? It's like, oh, ha, ha.
A few people actually did go on set like, yeah, what is that with that? And then it was brought up after the movie had come out and people were posting it. Like, why was it? Why was he named that? I assume because of, the past and it's that name. I don't know.
It's a cool name.
I never heard that it had anything to do with me, but I just found that a bit like, huh? What? Just by chance, I guess.
It's an awfully specific coincidence.
Yeah, right? I don't know.
So no decision on the last name?
I don't know. McGee.
And that's
John
what-
McGee.
you know.
I'm gonna go ahead and
Yeah.
not explain why that's that because you talked to us about this before we started recording, and I'm gonna not out you about it.
You know, I'm gonna
I don't know what
add
you're talking
to the
about.
Writer wiki right now.
Yeah.
Car's like, I'm updating the wiki.
I think on the. I really hoped that you know when people have drastic costume changes or it's like years apart. Right at the top, it's got a tab for like human clothing, Grand Prix outfit, etc.
Yeah.
I was really hoping that they would add the one when I dressed up as a woman, and they never did.
I mean, the wikis are editable. We can make that happen.
I know, but I'm registered under my own name, so I don't want to edit because I don't. You can obviously tell it's me.
Not saying you should do anything, listeners, but you know.
But
Fly.
I was very
Fly out,
proud
I
of
don't
me
care.
in that costume. That was so much fun.
Yep. All right. Next question. This was asked by many different people in our Discord in some form or another, so I'm just throwing it all into one question. Favorite Kamen Rider show, favorite Super Sentai show, and favorite miscellaneous third tokusatsu show.
Fai's Live Man Garo?
Excellent choices. I'm working my way through Garo right now. I just started the 3rd season.
So that must have been unreal that you got to be a riot trooper in a Fies movie. That must that must have been unreal.
And that was an on-screen henshin, so that must have been amazing.
Mmm.
That was also
Tasty!
I don't know what I can say about that.
I was like, he's figuring out what he's allowed to say.
I was part of the stunt team for that, so there's kind of a separation of church and state. Whereas if you're an actor, you like kind of Toei side, you know, you're a performer, you got to advertise yourself, you have your name. They announce you like before the movie comes out and that kind of stuff. And I was part of the stunt team for that, which I got because I begged when I heard that they were going to do a 20th anniversary special. I begged to let them call me to do it.
Well, it clearly worked.
And then they did. And I was like, hell yeah. Oh, hang on. I'm working Kamen Rider Geats at the same time. So I called the producer of Geats and I said, look, I've just got an offer as on the stunt team. And they were like, is your face going to be shown? I was like, probably yes. And she was like, okay, I'll call you back. I'm going to talk to the producer. And so that was like the longest 10 minutes. I was just like, oh, come on, my dream. I watched Fies as the first rider that I saw. I've loved Fies for so long. I got all the Fies toys, all the belts, everything. I was just like, oh, come on, damn it. So, and then she called me back. She was like, yeah, we think it'll be really funny. They were like, it's like a parallel world version of John. And I was like, hell yeah. And I had sunglasses as well.
Nice.
But so yeah, did that, and then on set they were like, "Oh, we need someone to stand at the front and say henshin. Who wants to do it?" And stunties, they're all very reserved.
But you
And I
went
might
for
have
it.
taken the lead a bit. Well, I didn't want to. So it was filmed at the same time as Geats, but it didn't come out until like 9 months later in the cinema, and then it came out on Blu-ray later. Like there was quite a big gap in between, which is what they said I was allowed to do it, because if it had come out while Geats was airing, that would have been a no.
Interesting.
But because it was the same with Chatranger that I talked about, because it wasn't at the same time, that was fine. And
Is there a reason why for that?
they just don't want the same actor to play 2 characters at the same time.
They'll confuse the children.
Yeah, that and you don't want. I mean, with my case, you would point. You know, you do the Leonardo DiCaprio meme. They don't really want people to do that.
Which is interesting because in the case of Geets and Fies, they're both Kamen Rider productions, so the fact that there was even a question is fascinating.
I mean, you were wearing a helmet in that movie, so...
And sunglasses.
Exactly!
A totally different character.
In Geets, you're wearing a full suit.
But they said it was funny. If the producer said it was okay, if both producers said it was okay, I was all square.
Let's remember the Riot Troopers are Orphanox, so it's a monster imitating a human form that happens to look similar to John.
Exactly.
And
they should hire us to write stuff for you,
right?
So they said on set. So the stunties were talking amongst themselves. So like, oh, we need someone to stand at the front saying henshin, and I was just quiet. But I was in the conversation, and they were like, well, we can't use you. And then one of them went, well, how about Tom? And I went, yep. And I just pushed everybody out of the way and went straight forwards.
So it's another one of those moments where you're calm on the outside and on the inside.
Yeah, I just, it was like parting of the Red Seas. I just went straight through and out of the way. Get out of there. But the funny thing is, the second henshin in Geets, I filmed the same month as Fies.
Wow.
So I got to do 2 in 1 month.
That's crazy.
Insane. Completely. Yeah, and then when I went back to Geets, I was like, oh, hey, Michael. Oh, how you doing? Oh, yeah, I'm good. Oh, you worked on anything? I was like, oh, I just worked on the Kamen Rider Fies movie.
Nice. All right.
I'm just picturing this as you. The gift and load, but it's like the horse like pushes everyone out of the way and walks.
Oh yeah. But I did I'm just stunned. So whatever. I don't care if there's a credit. This is very, very normal. I mean, there won't be any kind of announcement. But then when I went to watch the movie, I bought the pamphlet that comes with like a behind the scenes DVD and stuff. In the pamphlet, there's a big photo of me with accredited, with my name saying that I was the leader of the Riot Troopers.
Nice.
And I didn't know that at all. Because I was just stunts, and generally you don't get that kind of treatment whatsoever. And so opening it up, I was like, oh, it's me.
So that means you're the best Riot Trooper ever.
I mean, everyone lost, didn't they? All the Riot Troopers always get destroyed.
No, but you know what? It's cool because it's a cool suit. I love the Riot Trooper. They need to make like a DX Riot Trooper belt. Like I don't even care if it just does one thing and it goes complete. Like,
I put you right. You're right up there next to Kaido as awesome Riot Troopers.
Well, they did announce that they were going to do Riot Trooper, right? They announced all the new belts.
I don't know if they're doing Riot
Premium Bandai. I think Riot Trooper was the last one, but they haven't shown it. They just had like 5 that they were going to do.
Ooh. So
they're releasing Muse next. Whether or not they're going to do Riot Trooper in the end or not.
Okay.
It was on display 4 years ago. Yeah.
That's like it's such this easy, simple belt to like mass produce too. So there's one thing.
And whether, who knows if it will sell or not. But yeah, so that was fine. That was great.
All right. Well, that leads us into our next question. This one comes from Nightcaster Sir Jerry. Is there a tokusatsu franchise you have not been in but you would love to be in?
Dogengers.
Nice.
Oh, I would love to see you in Dogengers.
Lane and I have been watching the whole series.
Yeah,
it's great. It's funny, they're a good bunch of guys. Hopefully, Avalon at some point can make some kind of appearance or something with them.
Sick. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Sick.
But hopefully when season 2 comes out, and hopefully it should blow up because it's looking pretty damn good right now in the edit. Like it looks like it would be on TV.
Yeah, and for anyone watching, if you want to hear more about this Avalon project that he's talking about, you can go back and watch part 1 of this interview.
If you're listening to part 2 without part 1, I mean, what are you doing, guys? We'll wait.
Someone might have just stumbled upon it randomly.
Just pause this.
Infinity War, just Endgame.
Oh god. Yeah, I'll be very lucky. also worked with Rider, worked on Sentai, did some English dubbing for Ultraman. I mean, I would like to do Ultraman as well, but I mean, technically I've already done it. So I did Garo, did one movie, which was awesome.
You were in a Garo movie?
So, yeah, the Goldstorm. No, wait, is it before show?
Well, I'm only on the third season.
Kamino Kiba.
Oh, okay.
So the third season, it's got what's the main character's name?
Ryuga, I think.
Ryuga. Yeah. So there's that series that's got the other knights in, and then there's a season 2 Gold Storm, which has Kamen Rider Decades actor in it as the main villain.
Yeah, Masahiro Noe.
Yeah, and then after that, there's a movie which has got all of that timeline's characters in it. And
sick.
I was a human horror in that.
Oh, you had to be a horror?
Yeah, there was about 20 of us.
Okay.
And we had makeup and all bits and bobs and stuff. I think you could quite clearly see me in a few shots.
I'll keep an eye out for you when I get to that movie. I'm working my way through the whole franchise.
It's good. The season 3 is quite departure.
Yeah.
Departure? No, that's not right. Departure. Yeah, it's quite a departure from the first 2 seasons, but there's a lot of really great action in it.
Oh yeah, I've loved the CGI and the battles and like the fantastical settings they get up to, and like the giant robots they fight and shit. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it. Where's their budget? I mean,
right?
I mean, all the money comes from pachinko, probably.
All right.
I mean, the amount of footage that they film for that, just for the pachinko machines, like separate, that's not in any of the movies, TV shows. It's quite a constant thing. Yeah, loads of stuff.
I need to find that footage.
So you mentioned Ultraman.
Yes.
Quickly, I was just a bit confused at first. I'm like, wait a minute, I could have if I knew you were in it, I would have recognized it. So I had to quickly Google it quickly. You were Ultraman Orb in the Fusion Fight arcade game.
Yeah. The English voice.
Hey, that's still cool, man.
I had to audition for it, but I knew who was doing it. Not that gave me. Not that it wasn't like, oh, you can have it, you can do it. It was, I knew what role it would be. No, actually, no, that's a lie. The lines that I got sent for the audition, I knew they were Ultraman Orb. Because I knew what the dialogue was from, because I'd watched the show. So I tailored the English voice. I'm not going to do it now. I tailored the English voice to sound like Ultraman Orb. And then I won the audition, and then at the recording they said, oh, they liked you the most because you sounded like Ultraman Orb. And I was like, yes! Paying off being a fan!
That's dope.
I just imagine, you said you read the script and realized that it was Ultraman Orb. I just imagine, I recognized it was Ultraman when I realized there was a lot of schwa in the script.
Yeah. I think they kept all the schwa. Even the most recent English dubs, they keep all they keep the original schwas, even with the English voices, I think.
And you were also Alien Zarab in the Ultraman Regulos special.
Yeah. Yes. That was another Koichi thing. And because he's fake Ultraman. Yep. He's a Ultraman. So technically been an Ultraman. Technically.
Pretty sweet.
Technically.
You are technically correct. The best kind of correct.
You're an Ultraman.
Exactly. The best. And then Metal Heroes, the Space Squad stuff that came out a few years ago with the new Gavan, etc.
Yep.
I did a couple of bits and bobs in those as well, which I was very happy about. Oh, man, I want them to make more.
Yeah, we always say that we wish Space Squad had succeeded better.
I don't know if it wasn't a case that it didn't succeed. I think it was more timing with the actors and when would be a good time time to release stuff, because with release scheduling, I mean, I talked about, we filmed this, and then it didn't air for like another year or whatever. Like, they have to film some stuff because it just takes so long to get an open space that the cast are open. There's one, I'm going to be very vague. So there was a V Cinema where a certain Ranger actor couldn't be there for a group shot for a henshin. So they had to go back and film them on the day that they could do it, and then comp them into the shot. Just because they didn't have them there. And they would use body doubles from behind, so you can tell it like it wasn't actually the real person.
They did that in the Ultraman Taiga movie.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, Show's actor, Ultraman Victory, he was only there for like one shot where he's actually interacting with Hikaru, but every other shot he was digitally added in post. It just did not work with his schedule.
Didn't Forever Red have a similar thing too with Leo?
Oh yeah, you can see that like one Leo edit of him in the lineup. It's like woof.
They tried.
There's a lot of that. We've got a lot of, because now it's cool to be a Kamen Rider, whereas it didn't used to be cool, but now it is. A lot of returning actors, including Sentai.
Cool.
I think Kamen Rider was always cool.
But in entertainment, it's a jumping off point, all that crap. But now it's cool to be a Kamen Rider, and they talk about it all the time, and then they come back for roles. I mean, Gokai Blue came back last season, and he's like top of the game right now. He's in everything.
He was in Godzilla -1.
-1, yeah.
Yeah.
That was.
It was also a big deal when Tucker Sato came back as Deno.
Yeah, that was people in the cinema all lost their minds.
Yeah,
because it wasn't announced. He just turned up and
sounding like
picked him up.
Chicken jockey.
Oh God!
No actual chickens though.
Oh,
that would have been cool to see, like in person, like just sitting in the theater. Ryotaro shows up and everyone just loses it.
It's like if one day they do like a movie and then just like Kabuto's original actor just like comes back as Kabuto and everyone would be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
gonna be in the Japanese cut of Doomsday.
So yeah, I don't. This conversation has nothing to do with the question anymore. Yeah, availability is a big thing. That's the point I wanted to
make a Castranger out of you yet.
I feel like a politician. You don't answer the question they ask you. You answer the question you wanted to be asked.
I've definitely felt that.
Script.
We go on our own tangents all the time.
Too, because I knew that I would just waffle on for ages.
Hey, it's fine. I'm sure everyone likes what they're hearing. All right. Our next question comes from Spellcaster Blaze. What sort of hobbies do you have outside of tokusatsu?
Are you a gamer?
Oh hell yeah!
Well,
since forever.
What's your game you're playing right now?
Monster Hunter Wilds.
That's
nice.
Oh yeah, I just played a crap ton of that. It was really fun.
Yeah, I haven't finished all the post game stuff yet because I don't know what
the Zoshia. Yeah, I'm getting my ass kicked.
It's so difficult. I tried that a couple of times, and I've got so many side quests that I haven't finished yet, so I'm going to go back and do those. I was playing Lethal Company last night.
Very fun game.
Nice.
Which is hilarious if you just want to play something with your mates that requires zero skill, really.
Oh, Dragoncast is asking what your main weapon is. What do you
light bow gun.
Oh, I do know is.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, it's great.
I swear, in Rise, the light bow gun, you could use slash ammo to, like, cut off limbs.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Whereas in Worlds, you can't use it. So I can't cut off any towns or anything.
Well, I use ammo for everything, so...
Yeah, no, I use piercing ammo as well. And you can't block with a light bow gun.
No.
So
you partake in Marvel Rivals at all?
that's a can of worms that I'm trying not to.
I understand.
Understandable.
It's a stressful game. I play mostly bot matches just because, like, I want to keep my sanity.
I only play if friends are playing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm playing almost every day.
I did play a lot of Overwatch 2 with my partner, and I would be on the Switch and he'd be on the PlayStation 5.
Yeah,
And we were just hitting that. We were doing that every night.
I'm a big
Fortnite
fan, and Ichi's heavily into FF14. So
yeah,
I played Fortnite a lot, especially during COVID. I've sunk more money in that than I care to admit.
Me too. And they're doing a Star Wars season, so I'm gonna go broke. So
but haven't they pretty much released everyone from Star Wars at this point?
No, they just announced a new season, so there's plenty more.
They just announced.
Lane is a Star Wars encyclopedia. He can pull the characters out.
I am.
Lane is to Star Wars as Gar is to Tokusatsu.
And Transformers.
I'm just finishing up my first ever run through of Final Fantasy VI.
Oh yeah? That's one of the ones I have not finished yet. I've played and beaten most of them. That is one of my blind spots.
Yeah, I think Europe didn't get any Final Fantasies until 7, but I never had a SNES. I had it's Mega Drive in the UK, but it's Genesis, I think, elsewhere.
Yep.
Yeah, my Final Fantasy experiences were the Game Boy Advance versions. So
I do think those are the superior versions.
Yeah.
So I played 7. That was my first one.
Yeah.
7's a fantastic one.
I 100% did all those remakes.
Nice.
Actually, yeah, Resident Evil. Love Resident Evil. I just replayed Resident Evil 2. That I think I've got better at it. I didn't really die that often. I'm proud to say.
Did you play the remakes or the originals?
I replayed the remakes, but I played the originals back in the PS1 days.
Nice. Like, what was Resident Evil. Like, what was the first one you played? Like, you played. You remember?
2.
Nice.
I was too young for it, and I had the worst nightmares for so long. I would hear William Birkin Tyrant, his scream. I would hear that in my nightmares.
Oh man!
And then I would
I'm
wake up
laughing, but that's so great.
That's alright. I think I was like 10 or whatever, 12, waking up to cold sweats, thinking, "Oh God, why did I play that?" But I mean, I played all the mainline ones. I mean, I play a lot of games. Europe got Final Fantasy Mythic Quest. Yeah, Mythic Quest. But I never played that either.
Mystic Quest, wasn't it?
Spellcaster Blaze, Mythic Quest.
Yeah. I think you might be talking about Mystic Quest. I know that one. I played that on the SNES.
Isn't Mythic Quest a show?
Yeah,
Mythic Quest.
Mythic Quest is that show starring Mac from Always Sunny, which got
That's a really
canceled.
fun show.
Anyway,
that just got cancelled.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're reshooting a more canon finale. So
yeah, that's a really good thing.
Sounds like a video game show.
There's barely anything good on Apple TV. Like, no one's watching Apple TV, but that's one of the good ones.
Yeah, except for Monarch.
That Severance and
Monarch.
I didn't really like Monarch. But I liked all the past stuff. I wish we just stayed in the past.
I would have preferred that too.
Yeah. The kids, I just didn't understand what the point of the present was.
That's why Skull Island was so fun, because it was in the 70s and stuff. So
Great movie.
Still my favorite one of them all. Kind of to go off the same question, like, what do you like otherwise? Like, what kind of movies and shows are you into that's not in the toku genre?
It's mostly geeky stuff. Gundam, I've watched pretty much mostly Gundam, apart from Double Zeta. I tried it again recently, and I was just scratching my head going, so it's a comedy now. but then Camille's in it and he's in a coma. Like, I don't. Why is this happening? Unless you've watched it, you might not understand like how completely of a tonal change it is.
You mentioned
Paul's the Gundam guy, to be honest.
You mentioned the first part. You watched all of Dragon Ball.
Yep, all the Dragon Ball. I've watched everything I've got with the manga, read all the manga, JoJo. Freaking love JoJo.
Yeah, we just got Steel Ball Run announcements. So I'm so
yeah. Which I was halfway through reading the manga, so now I'm like, should I wait for the anime or should I just read the manga?
I think the anime is going to do it so much more justice.
Because I watched part 5, JoJo Lolin.
Yeah, part 5.
I watched
yeah.
Part 6. Yeah, I watched the anime as opposed to reading the manga because I read. It was good. It's just by the time I'd read up to part 5, Gorgonio.
Yeah.
When I got to the end, I was like, I think I've read too much JoJo. I just need to stop for a while because it's just I feel like part 5 kind of went on a little bit too long. I think I just grew a little bit tired, so I went on a break and then just, as with many things, just never went back to it. And I wish I had because part 6 is fantastic. So yeah, I like Gundam. I'm watching G-Quacks right now. Just watched episode 2.
I haven't watched a lot of Gundam. The only one I watched was like random episodes of Wing back when I was a kid. But I saw the trailer for G-Quacks and it looked interesting, so I'm picking that series up.
I don't want to say anything because it's kind of spoilery.
I've watched the first episode.
When you watch episode 2, let's talk.
Okay.
Deal.
Yeah, alright. Yeah, we'll talk after episode 2.
Okay.
You mentioned I don't do Gunpla because I'm just bad at it.
Oh,
My partner does Gunpla, so there's Gunpla all over this apartment. But I'm very, very bad at it. I have tried to make a few things. I do like it sometimes. It can be very nice and relaxing. But because I'm crap at it, then I get kind of frustrated and it takes me... So he's doing master grade and I'm doing like whatever the lowest grade one is.
Yeah, high grades or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing that and I take twice as long as he does to do the master grades. Because I'm just not...
It's
not... The instructions, it doesn't fit in here. Entry grade.
I was gonna say, I imagine high grade is not the lowest grade.
No, that's like the second one. That's usually the ones I built.
I'm rewatching Stargate SG-1 for the 3rd time at the moment while I'm working.
I've always wanted to get into Stargate.
Oh, it's great. It is so... It's just nice.
Yeah. Time you go through a portal. Where the hell are you gonna end up?
It's just so like positive, and you end an episode, and it's a good feeling. Yes, indeed, Tilk is awesome. Love him. The actor's really great. He did a really good interview with Michael Rosenbaum on Inside of You podcast. That's worth a watch. Where he talks about his dad, and his dad's an absolute psychopath.
Oh wow,
it's really good.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah. Babylon 5, now I've watched it, although I stopped at the last season halfway, because if you don't know Babylon 5, it was originally meant to be 5 seasons, then they were told it was going to finish on 4, and then at the last moment they said, oh no, actually we're giving you 5, but they'd already kind of finished the story. So it was like an extra season, and then just while watching it I was like, I feel like the story's done.
It wouldn't feel right if Babylon 5 didn't end on season 5. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I mean, it was so good that those 4 seasons, phenomenal work, so good that I was just happy to go. Yeah, I know there's more content, but I'm good just to stop here. And I probably rewatch it.
You said you watched SG-1. Did you ever see the movie Stargate? Like the original movie?
Yeah, I watched it in the cinemas, mate.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like Kurt Russell.
James Spader's like the main character, isn't he?
Yeah.
Interesting.
You might like that movie, Lane.
Oh, probably. Probably wouldn't.
Yeah, it'll probably... Yeah. if you like that era of movies, you'll probably scratch that itch.
Oh yeah, I love 90s movies.
What else? Just finished Daredevil Born Again. Oh,
That was good. Yep. Season 2.
Season 2 with the new showrunners.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that. If I ever work for Marvel, I don't want them to listen to this part of the podcast. You could tell what the newly shot footage is.
Yeah.
Because it's leaps and bounds better than what's in the other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It like some of the cinematography shots, incredible, so good. I really like technical stuff. That's kind of a big thing for me. That's partly why I like Gundam. I love Star Trek. I could talk about Star Trek all day. I fell asleep watching Star Trek Next Generation yesterday, where they go see the Borg.
I just rewatched
the first
all
time.
the original first 6 Star Trek movies, so that was fun.
Does it still hold up? The every 2 movies is the best one?
Oh, honestly, like I think they're all like unique in their own way. Like Voyage Home is my personal favorite, just because it's charming and silly as all hell.
I think 1 kind of got a bad rep for so long.
I think
People have kind of come around to it. The fact that yes, it is slow, but
If you like Star
it is very Star Trek.
But like Red Letter Media is sort of like giving them like a revival to that movie. Like people are like re-examining it.
Yeah.
That's totally where I was getting it from. As well.
if you're so into,
Love those guys.
since you're
Sorry,
so
go
into
ahead.
Star Trek, have you watched the Orville?
Oh, I'm heartbroken. There's not more Orville.
Right?
No, there's
Right,
any more.
Right.
Season 4 is a thing.
We'll
Is
see.
Well,
Is it?
It's up in the air.
Didn't
So is
the
Space.
XO actress? She was like, "Oh no, that show's done." It's like we're not doing it anymore.
I haven't heard anything in a long time.
But the thing is,
one actor says one thing, another one says another thing, and then
I mean, Ted Lasso's coming back, and they had like one of the most perfect endings of the show, and they're like, "Yeah, okay, we'll just do season 4 5 years later."
Yeah, sometimes shows just don't know when to end, unfortunately.
Yeah, I watched all 16 seasons of Supernatural, 10 of Smallville.
Boy.
Oy. In fact, watching all 10 seasons of Smallville changed me as a person. That if I start getting into something, I have to watch it until the end.
Oh, boy.
Yes.
Regardless of how bad it gets.
That's
Supernatural.
That's me with Yu-Gi-Oh! I made a commitment to that
Oh,
franchise, and it has not been rewarded.
Damn.
And that way with the Alien franchise.
Oh, Alien also, yeah. Yep. I got my partner and another 2 of our friends who never watched Alien or Aliens, and I made them sit down, turn all the lights off, big screen, 4K, watch Alien, and those motherfuckers talked through half of it. And
You hate it.
I never get angry. Not really angry. But at one point I paused it and I was like,
Really?
you need to be quiet.
Really?
This is really important to me, this movie. And you should watch it because it is phenomenal.
No one can hear you scream.
Yeah, right. But they did sort of, I mean, when the alien did turn up properly, the Xenomorph turned up, they did kind of quiet. They were very good until the end. And then, like a month later, we started watching Aliens because it's like 2.5 hours, didn't have enough time, so we stopped just as the jump ship crashed. And they have to go back to the base, and they're doing all the turrets and stuff. That's where we stopped it. And I went back to England for a holiday for 3 weeks. And I said, "Oh, we'll just watch it when I get back. The rest of it." I've got doggy cameras, so when we're out, I can check on the dogs and see if they're okay.
I see where this is going.
Ian's, yeah. Oh yeah. Check the camera. My partner, 2 friends, sitting on the sofa with the 2 dogs, and I can hear Newts screaming, "Ripley! Ripley!" And so I turned on voice chat, and I was like, "You fuckers!"
They watched it without you.
Bastards.
And they were like, "What? What?" And I was like, "What are you fucking there? Oh, we're just watching a movie." "I know what you're watching."
Without me.
I love that voice.
I have Google Home. I can turn off the TV from here.
That could be your villain voice when you play a villain eventually.
Oh shit!
There you go.
Blaze in the,
what other stuff?
Blaze in the Discord
What did Blaze say?
asked if you play any tabletop role play games like Dungeons and Dragons. That's been a big thing lately.
I have a group of friends. There's 4 of us. We played through all of Baldur's Gate 3. It took us like 6 months because we were only doing it once a week, on a Monday night. I mean, it's not quite tabletop, but it's tabletop rules. It's Dungeons and Dragons rules. And then before that, we did another game which was made by the same company that Baldur's Gate 3, and I can't remember the name of it. I've got a group of it's our gay group that play Dungeons and Dragons. We haven't done it for a few months because everybody's been too busy, and that's been fun. My character's name is McGee.
I'm sensing a theme.
And she talks like this. She won the lottery and she got loads of money, but then she lost everything to a scheme of Ponzi.
What is this in the Dungeons and Dragons system, or is this in Baldur's Gate?
Dungeons and Dragons. Actually, with a board, dice, and everything. We've got
nice.
character sheets. And
So what class or classes is McGee?
McGee, she's a bard and a hunter.
Nice.
Very cool.
She knows the land. She knows how to do stuff because she started poor. She became rich and then became poor again. She knows the way of the land.
It's a real roller coaster.
And I like because the other guys don't necessarily ask the correct questions when you're doing a story.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of look at it a bit logically. So I was like, I've got to have this character just be absolutely chaotic and talk to people and try to like. They don't haggle, like when you're trying to buy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I haggle with the game master to try and like save us money when we need to buy gear, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I'm useless in a fight. In the last fight we did, I missed 5 arrows in a row.
Wow.
Damn.
Our spellcaster Blaze, just watch Smallville. Yeah.
Yeah. My current campaign that we stream and record our campaign, we've been doing it for over a year. We do it Monday nights.
Uh-huh.
My current character is a warlock fighter build, so I don't get a lot of like different varying abilities, but for some reason I always land the plot relevant critical final blows.
Oh, nice.
Better do that than not.
Yeah.
Yeah, better than missing everything.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I was starting.
Tom is a geek like us. That's awesome.
Yeah.
One of us.
One of
Gavel
us.
gavel.
I could stay around after the podcast and we could just chat more. I would enjoy that.
I'm
Sure.
down. You seem cool to chat with.
Well, in order to get
Is
to
it
that,
like midnight for you guys?
quarter to midnight for us here, yeah. But I'm up till like 1 o'clock in the morning usually anyway.
Yeah, we're late.
Alrighty.
I don't even sleep at night.
I do. I'm like out of like the core of us, I'm probably the most like sleeper in the group
It's true.
because
Well, isn't that nice?
I work a full-time job.
That's not nice that you get a nice sleep schedule.
Oh yeah.
Healthy.
That's just made me yawn. All right, well, we have one last question to get to here, and I know you've talked.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought this was the last. So I
Oh no, we had one more, but that's fine. So you've talked a lot about Avalon, which everyone should go check out. But aside from that, are there any current / upcoming projects that you would like highlighted, drawn attention to in any capacity that you're working on?
No. Honestly,
Just
either-
Avalon.
It is just Avalon. That's taken up so much of my time. Everything else, I can't really talk about.
Like all NDA.
Valid.
Yeah,
Well,
either it's
like-
filmed and it's not out, or haven't filmed it yet. Blah blah blah.
Even
sense.
though you should check out our first episode too, why don't you tell us a little bit about Avalon again and like where it can be supported and such?
Right now, you can go to the YouTube channel if you type Avalon Knight of the Round Table. It's a short 5-episode series currently, and we're filming season 2 right now. It's about in real life, it's about a British guy who loves tokusatsu and moved to Japan, very similar to myself, and he created this character that's based on medieval knights because that's his jam. He loves Lord of the Rings, that kind of stuff, fantasy settings, and this character transforms into a hero and fights monsters that attack humans. He's kind of like a policeman of sorts. If they step out of line, he goes and gives them a whaling. And the episode 1 begins in Tokyo, and the idea that he's traveled around many countries, but it just happens to be in Japan right now. And that is where the plot starts, but it is not where the plot ends. It gets bigger and bigger. It is very low budget. I do apologize for that. We tried very hard. We learned a lot, made a lot of mistakes. Overall, I'm pretty happy with season 1, but season 2 is looking phenomenal right now. So please like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, etc.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we love our indie toku here.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
I'll give you at least this much of a credit. At least you guys filmed the entire season and not just one episode and said, don't worry, there's going to be more coming, and then proceed to not make more.
I feel like this is targeted at somebody.
Kind of subtle like that.
Probably know who it is.
Probably.
I read everything on social media.
Yeah, I read everything. Goggle, no!
All right. Well, that will be it for this 2-part interview special with the one, the only, the amazing Tom Constantine.
What a legend.
Thank you so much for
Thank you
taking
so
the time.
much.
Yeah.
No, thank you guys. You've been so cool and adjusting to the schedules and listening to me waff on. If you want to, I don't know. If you want to talk more, I can come back and talk about Star Trek forever.
I mean, me and Lane can do that with you forever, man.
Oh, yeah.
I'm more than happy to. I've got real life friends that I talk about tokusatsu with. I've got no one to talk about Star Trek with. So
Oh, there you go. You just made some new Star Trek friends.
fantastic.
Ichi, you like Voyager?
I like Voyager,
like
but I haven't
Voyager.
seen it since it aired.
It's all on Paramount Plus if you want to watch it.
I'm trying to watch Garo.
I'm trying to find the Blu-rays so I can watch like the original version of Star Trek.
Ooh.
That'd be cool, yeah.
Because the streaming platforms only have like the HD remaster editions that they did.
Oh, yeah, you want to watch like the OGs.
Yeah, like I want to watch it with like with the original props, how like, because that's how it was made. I want to see how they originally made it.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's funny because in Japan, it's all on Netflix. There's no Paramount Plus here.
Really?
Yeah, but they've got the HD versions of Next Generation, and it's really funny watching it because you can see all the mistakes. You can see where they got
See all the
black cardboard
mistakes.
and stick onto the back consoles so they're not like brightening up the shot.
Red Letter Media made a whole video about posting all the mistakes.
Yeah, it is
I literally
so
watched
obvious.
that last night again.
It's so awesome.
All
This was
right.
the outro. I've made this waff on again. I'm so sorry. This is your longest podcast ever. It's usually not this
This
long,
is
are they?
not our longest episode ever, not by a long shot.
King Oju, when we talked about King Oju, we were like in like the 4-hour length for these episodes. We just talked about it for so long.
That's what happens when it's that good. Anyways,
Yep.
this has been a very fun episode of Nice Friendly Chatranger. Thank you to Tom for joining us. Thank you to everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you to everyone in the Discord for joining us live. Thank you to everyone on YouTube watching these posted videos. Let us know what you thought in the comments. Tom has talked plenty about where you can find his current and upcoming work, so please check all that out. And if anyone has been listening to our voices for the first time, if you came here looking for Tom and found us, and if you found us entertaining, please check out other episodes of Radio Sentai Castranger. We are a bunch of Ontario-based tokusatsu nerds who get together every week to talk about Kamen Rider, Super Sentai, and most usually a third thing. We've been doing the show since 2014. We love it. It's fun. We shoot the shit. We have a very fun blend of off-the-cuff comedy reactions, and somewhere sprinkled in there is a little bit of seasoned critique and theory crafting, so there's something for everyone. We're all very good friends. Our chemistry is pretty much what everyone loves about us, so check us out, please and thank you.
Proceeds to block channel from searches.
Unsubscribed.
No.
We're waiting for Tom.
All right, well, we're going to wrap it up here. Thank you all once again, and we'll see you next time on Castranger.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks, everyone.